15 shameful photos of Ronda Rousey. It truly doesn't get more polarizing than Ronda Rousey. Some love her, while some just do not. You cannot however discredit her contributions in not only the MMA but worldwide. Many make the claim that Rousey transcended a role of females in professional sports. Her dominance in the UFC not only paved the way for new female mixed marital artists, but it also did the same for other women in sports as well. Still only 30, Rousey still has a long way to go despite her two crushing defeats. The next step seems to be the WWE as she continues to tease a possible debut. We wait in anticipation. With the good, has come the bad. Whether it be shameful defeats, or Rousey coming across as a hypocrite, she hasn't had a squeaky clean image in the past. In this article, we showcase some of her most shameful moments through 15 images. These photos include Rousey looking not so PG, her devastating losses and even personal pictures from her past. Enjoy the article and like always, be sure to share it with a friend. Let's now begin with these 15 shameful pictures of Ronda Rousey. We get this article started with a questionable photo shoot that featured Ronda alongside an adult star. Ring the bell. 1. Not so PG past. Okay, so we can't compare her not so PG past to the likes of Tiger Woods or Michael Phelps, but, given the evidence we have at our disposal from the past, Rousey loved to have a good time back in the day, and by good time, we mean having some drinks and feeling a little loose. This steamy picture has made waves time and time again as Ronda looks like she's having the time of her life as her friend goes for the belt buckle, while Rousey appears to enjoy every second of it while rocking the patriotic Brazilian top and bandana around her neck. Minds likely started to race at the sight of such a picture, but don't get your hopes up. The adult industry isn't in Rousey's future. But hey, if she ever chooses to though, she's got a partner in Carmen Electra, right? 2. Ronda's Instagram posts. Social media is a crazy tool athletes did not have access to back in the day. With social media today, stars like Rousey can use the platform to further their own brand. With close to 10 million followers via Instagram, Rousey is certainly taking advantage of that platform. Her recent posts have changed big time, and some call it shameful. The shameful post you see above was published by Rousey. It was one of her many depressing posts from the past. For someone as popular and viewed as a role model to millions, the route she took wasn't the greatest. Instead, dare we say she was better off taking a page out of Conor McGregor's book and exiting the loss with her head held high. Feeling sorry for herself only made things worse, as she came across in a negative light. 3. Prior relationships. This particular story does have a happy ending for Rousey, who recently tied the knot with Travis Brown. The two were married in Brown's native land of Hawaii in late August. We're truly happy for Rousey, especially because of her rocky past at finding love. She dated the guy above, Brendan Schwab, for a little bit. Ironically, her current husband Travis would not swap out, and she would later date the fighter. You can't make this stuff up, folks. She also had an abusive relationship that she discussed in her autobiography with a person she named Snapper McCreepy. Rousey claims the ex-boyfriend took nude pics of her while she was asleep and without her consent. For that reason, Ronda claims she accepted photoshoots that showed her in a different light so it would allow her to do so on her own terms. 4. The Weighin with Holly. Critics believe Rousey's shameful downward spiral began at this very press conference, hyping her match against Holly Holm. At that point, it appeared as though the fame and popularity of it all got to the former champion, as she appeared arrogant as ever, while rocking the most fashionable dress on the market. Looking at that Rousey compared to her previous ways back in the day when she was a somewhat humble champion, you can certainly tell that the fame got to her. During the press conference, she basically talked down to Holm and even bullied her, another aspect Ronda is apparently totally against, but she wasn't doing the greatest job selling it on this day. If anything, the defeat to Holly might have been a sign to humble the former champ a little bit, but given her reaction following the fight, we're not really sure if it did. 5. Rousey in jail. Okay, we're teasing you a little here. This is not a picture of Rousey in jail, but rather, this is the way the former UFC champion dealt with her defeats, and that's by taking on television and film projects. The picture you see above is from a cameo on Blind Spot, appearing as Devon Penberthy. She would appear in various other roles shortly after, including spots in Mile 22 and Roadhouse. Along with the numerous films and TV shows, Rousey also took part in a slew of talk show spots, such as an emotional cameo on The Ellen Show, in which she opened up about her recent battles against depression following her defeats. Not to worry though, it looks like she finally back on her feet and ready to make a new mark on the world, this time with the WWE, as she's set to make a big-time debut in the very near future. 6. Airport Fiasco. Following her first defeat to Holly Holm, Rousey just made things so much worse following the fight. You can call her behavior truly shameful. Instead of accepting the result and taking it like a true champion, Rousey chose another route, and that was to run and hide, not wanting to show weakness, which in truth did the opposite. Making her way through the LA airport, Rousey was mobbed by paparazzi who were on site ready to get a glimpse of the former champion. Rousey was having none of it as she completely covered her face wearing a hood, along with a purple pillow to cover the battle scars everybody wanted to see. When you're in a sport like mixed martial arts, taking such a route is regarded as shameful. We believe that if Ronda would be able to do it again, she would have done things differently on that day. 7. Second loss to Amanda Nunes. In late December of 2016, everything was falling back into place for Dana White and the UFC. Cash cow Conor McGregor was back on top of the MMA world, and all that was left to put the cherry on top was Rousey also getting back on her throne as champion. Unfortunately for Dana, things went terribly wrong. Her comeback was halted in stunning fashion as she was destroyed in just 48 seconds. This loss came across as even more shameful in comparison to her first defeat, given how quick and brutal the match was. Again, Ronda stood toe-to-toe but got absolutely rocked with shot after shot. The bout was so bad that Rousey literally went into hiding for months and faced various points of depression. Following the second defeat, many believe her MMA days are done for, as she now looks to revolutionize another field, the world of sports and entertainment with the WWE. 8. First ever loss to Holly Holm. The date was nearly 2 years ago today, November 15, 2015, a day the world of mixed martial arts will never forget. In her 7th title defense, Rousey was a massive favorite in this matchup, taking on a huge underdog, the soft-spoken Holly Holm. Quietly during the build-up to this match, some discussed Holm's superior striking ability, though in truth, many thought it would just be a classic Ronda takedown and submission finish. But man, were most ever wrong. Inexplicably, Rousey chose to go toe-to-toe with Holm, and it cost her the embarrassing defeat, the first of her MMA career. With a brutal kick in the second round, Holm knocked Rousey out cold, ending the former champ's 3-year title reign. Not only was the defeat shameful, but her attitude post-fight was even worse, as she came across as a sore loser.